NTR.
Neothink Radio Network. Coming up, host Steve Fagan, along with the national officers of the 12 Visions Party. You're listening to NTR, Neothink Radio, on the road to the White House with the 12 Visions Party.
How can you achieve optimum health and vitality? There's now a paradigm shift in healthcare where you can absolutely take control of your health and wellness. Learn about the 3 pillars of optimum health. This amazing company offers solutions that are based on preventive action and self-care before disease strikes. It is a company like no other that has the dedication, resources, and vision working closely with Epigenics. That's right, Epigenics. Did you know that certain food compounds can influence the way our DNA operates? Did you hear this? This is huge. Let me repeat that. Did you know that certain food compounds can influence the way our DNA operates? To learn much more than what I'm saying with you in this commercial, visit myultimatehomesuccess.com. Again, that's myultimatehomesuccess.com. myultimatehomesuccess.com. Wow.
Hi, this is Shalene, producer of Neothink Radio. I'd like you to meet someone very special, another mentor of mine. His name is Bill Bartman. During the last banking crisis, Bill went from dirt poor to a multi-billionaire. How did he do it? I know, and now I want you to know. Bill wants to personally share with you his proven techniques. So, please go to neothinkradio.com and look for the banner with that handsome face of Bill Bartman. Click on the banner and you'll go directly to Bill's video. Sign up on his website and you'll be all set. It's that easy. Go to neothinkradio.com and click on the banner of Bill Bartman. If you're like me and you don't like to swallow those big vitamin pills, how about a spray? It's called an intraoral spray. There are 3 sprays to tell you about: anti-aging, which is my favorite, a multivitamin spray, and a vitality spray. I found out that some vitamins I was taking, my body only absorbed 10%. With a spray, it's 98%. And I don't have to worry about swallowing those big vitamin pills. I want you to head over to learn more about my friend Tom Sylvia's products. Go to neothinkradio.com and click on the banner of the woman that says turn on your anti-aging gene. When you do, you'll go to a video that tells you how to learn more. That's neothinkradio.com and click on the banner of the woman that says turn on your anti-aging gene.
NTR.
Neothink Radio Network. And now, your host, Steve Fagan.
Hello, and welcome to NTR Neothink Radio on the road to the White House. I'm Steve Fagan, your host. This show offers you the opportunity to hear ordinary people talk about an alternative system to move our lives forward and live happily, even with prosperity. Making all the people rich, including the poor. That is right. Making all the people rich, including the poor. You ask, how can this happen? Well, dear listeners, the answer is the 12 Visions Party. Now, last week, you were witness to history. That is right, the 12 Visions Party history. You heard the founder of the 12 Visions Party, Mr. Mark Hamilton, explain in detail the 12 Visions Party movement, the creation, the current status, and the specific needs for us all to now embrace the 12 Visions Party and actively work together to move this most needed movement forward. Mark Hamilton specifically told all of us the urgent need to make a most needed change. That is, the rule of man must be eradicated, and then protection-only budget plus the Prime Law Amendment must be put in place. Or we will be destroyed. That is right. This civilization, the one that we live in, can be destroyed. We are all now on a very bumpy course, the destructive course. But we can turn our direction to the correct course, the 12 Visions Party course. Today's show is going to delve into Mark Hamilton's speech. In order to help me get this into the really perspective, into detail, and getting into the nitty-gritty of Mark Hamilton's speech, I have invited the 12 Visions Party National Committee to join me in this roundtable discussion to discuss specific points addressed in this historic and most memorable speech. So I want you to be able to sit back and listen and just enjoy and hear some valuable integrations. But before we do that, as always, we definitely want to start with the prime law. The prime law, the fundamental of protection. The purpose of human life is to prosper and live happily. The function of government is to provide the conditions that let individuals fulfill that purpose. The prime law guarantees those conditions by forbidding the use of initiatory force, fraud, or coercion by any person or group against any individual, property, or contract. Article 1. No person, group of persons, or government shall initiate force, threat of force, or fraud against any individual self, property, or contract. Article 2. Force is morally and legally justified only for protection from those who violate Article 1. Article 3. No exception shall exist for Articles 1 and 2. Well, I'll tell you, everybody, I'm excited to have this evening's show because we have an opportunity to really get into Mark Hamilton's nitty-gritty information and really understand what Mark was talking about and the value of what Mark has talked about, as well as where we're going to be going to move forward. So without further ado, I want to bring on the National 12 Visions Party Committee, who's going to help me delve into this information and really get you some good detailed understanding of where our movement is going forward. So I'd like to, first of all, introduce Mr. Michael Dilworth, who is the chairman of the 12 Visions Party. Michael.
Hello. Thank you, Steve.
Well, thank you for joining us this evening, Michael. Let me just ask you a quick comment. What did you think of Mark's speech last week?
Well, as I expected, it was the perfect statement to introduce the 12 Visions Party to the public. He's written a lot of perfect literature to introduce the public. However, this is really the first time that he's spoken to the public and introduced the TVP. And I tell you what, he did it perfectly, as only he could.
I have to agree with you. I really think the way he went into it was very simplified in the sense that everybody could get it. He gave some great examples. I think some of the metaphors he gave, it really got me to really have a really strong grasp. And I pretty much have gotten it, but it's found like I got it even stronger. And again, the stimulation of understanding that, hey, we've got to make some changes. We've got to start moving now really was reinforced. So I really thank you for joining us this evening, and I think this is going to be great. We're going to be doing a roundtable, and I think this is going to be very powerful. So let me continue on with other members of our 12 Visions Party National Committee. Mr. Tom Carey. Tom, good evening.
Good evening, Steve.
How you doing?
I'm doing really good, thank you.
Tom, thank you for joining us this evening. I appreciate that. Okay, Carlton Roberts. Mr. Carlton Roberts, thank you for joining us this evening.
Thank you for having me.
Great, Carlton. So let me ask you a little bit. What was your thought of the speech? How did it seem to go for you? And where did you see what Mark was his objective?
Well, I think his speech overall was very enlightening. And in fact, as I was thinking about it over this past weekend, and I'm preparing for this call tonight, I want to actually utilize a quote that he actually wrote in one of his writings in regards to removing rule of man. And it states, once we recognize and remove from politics and law the inherent problem of man, flaw-filled creatures easily influenced by power and money, then we will quickly rise into a wealthy world. Even the poor will rise, as we will soon see. So, his speech, it just really just lays it out. Lays it out directly from the founder, all the steps that it will take to make sure that this is done. And once we do remove the rule of man, then we will have a truly free society so that we can have any and everything that we desire, including wealth for everyone that's on this call, everyone that's listening, including the poor.
Well, Carlton, I felt Mark was very clear about laying out how that's going to be accomplished, and It was very powerful. So I am agreeing with you about the wealth for everyone, including the poor, and it made a lot of sense in his speech. So thank you for your comments. Looking forward to speaking with you this evening. May I introduce Mr. Larry Wirt. Larry, good evening.
Hello, Steve. How you doing?